Well, let's bring him in. It's Wednesday from Sports Medicine Center at Akron Children's Hospital. Our good friend, Dr. Joe Congini, on board with us this morning. Dr. Joe, what's on your resume today?
Hey, Ray, I have a couple of really good stories I want to tell about high school sports. I mean, we hear about some of the negative, but hearing about some of the positive. And sports in these young people can evoke so many emotions. So I have three short stories that I want to tell you about that have happened in my office and to me in the last week. The first one, a couple weeks ago, I had a young wrestler, a young girl who's a wrestler, and my kids in my office teach me so much. And so I knew that that girls wrestling was taking place and there were matches the last couple of years. But even though I'm on the OHSAA committee, I didn't realize this was the first year of the tournaments down in Columbus. The girls wrestled simultaneously at the same time in Columbus with the boys for the first time this year. And, she was explaining to me that she absolutely had to be ready for this. This was one of the most important things. And I could hear the passion in her voice about that she was going down to wrestle in the state tournament. And so some of our trainers and therapists that work with wrestlers were down there last weekend and said it was just a great success. There were 224 girls, and I know that number is going to continue to grow. There was one division, 14 brackets of 16 girls in there. And sure enough, I look in the paper at the end of the week, and the girl that had just gotten back from an injury used all that passion and everything else to win a state championship. And that was just so cool. And I just love new opportunities for athletes and new sports. And that story just showed me the passion that kids can have for high school sports. And then secondly, on Sunday, I woke up and went to church first, came back, and it was at an odd time, but in the middle of the day, I got a chance to see the Bookdale Griffins. And we take care of the City Series. We take care of Bookdale. We have a great trainer, Shelley, who grew up with a lot of these kids, and she is just so happy to go on this ride down to state. And sure enough, Coach Dent wins and his Bookdale Griffins win the state championship. You did great interviews with him. You could hear and feel the emotion and the passion in his voice. And really what it did all over town since then, what I'm hearing from kids in the city, is it restored the hope that they could do it too. I mean, people were thinking back to, the late 1980 Bookdale teams and others, but it's just seemed like that door's been closed for a long time. And Bookdale High School and basketball opened that door wide open, and the emotion of hope from the Bookdale Griffins. And then later that night, Archbishop Hoban got a chance in basketball. Yeah, they'd made a lot of runs and things in football, but in basketball, it had been 34 years since they'd won a state championship, and just such an incredible storybook ending. The coach that was the sixth man on that team back in 1989 always dreamed of perhaps coaching a state championship, and then perhaps coaching one of his kids, and his last son in his last game, and I think the videos went viral of him running over to his father and them hugging for a period of time. Everybody thought it was just pure joy. So our trainer also had just such a great time working with these kids and helping them achieve their goals, reaching their full potential. So sports medicine loves to be there in a supportive role, but to see these emotions of joy at the end of the day Sunday, hope for the City Series in the middle of the day, and passion in that young lady in my office that was going to get a chance for the first time to wrestle in the girls state wrestling championships was just an awesome thing. So we hear some negative stories, and I wanted to move over to the positive today. As you know me, that's kind of the side I like to be on more often. Those were just great stories over the course of the last couple of weeks.
Couldn't have said it better, my friend, and I agree with everything you said there. With the basketball teams, with Bookdale and Hoban, and two different roads to get there. Rayshawn Dent coaching this group of great athletes from Bookdale, and they get a state title. And then T.K. Griffith, who's been there for so long, leading his team to a state title with his son by his side. Just great story. So well done, Dr. Joe. Appreciate the time, my friend. Thank you.
Thanks so much for the forum to tell you about how much we can learn if we listen to our kids. And congratulations to TK. It has been a long trip. And so thanks for all you do in town, Ray. You kept us right updated through the weekend with interviews and stuff. Thanks so much for all you do.
You got it, Joe. Dr. Joe Congini, Sports Medicine Center, Akron Children's Hospital. He takes time out of his schedule, and he joins us on Wednesdays here on WAKR.